Ooh, what's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here for another episode of the show. Uh, yeah. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and close this. Oh, I can hear my audio. I'm sounding good. Yeah, guys, we have a show for you to this for you this Saturday, and I hope everybody is doing well. Hold on a second. What is this thing? I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second. You ever see Twitter's so annoying. You ever see something and then shit like disappears on your timeline?
Yes,
Of course, happens all the time.
it does.
Hmm. Okay. All right. What's up, Drav? What's up, Lino? What's up, Arcade? All right. Let's go ahead and do these intros. What's up, Brisky? Shout out to Singer. Go ahead.
What up? It is me. I'm here. Yeah, this should be a great show. We got Pong here.
All right. And then Pong.
Hey. Thanks for the invite, Queen. It's been a long time, so I appreciate this. Always have a fun time on your show. You're so freaking amazing. So we're gonna have a good
I
time
really
tonight.
appreciate that.
Yeah, you are. You know that. Nothing but love and respect, man. But 5 days away from Starfield. Let's go. Hyped. We got huge Gamescom news. I can't wait to get into it. It's gonna be
All
fun.
right. All right. What's up, Sean? But yeah. So let's see here. Look at my phone. Hold on one second, guys. Holy shit. All right, what's a vaccine? All right, yes, a lot of craziness or things to discuss this week based on some of the craziness that's been going on. But let's start with Baldur's Gate to the Baldur's Gate 3 to the Xbox Series consoles. So, Singer, are you happy
Game
about
of the
this?
year is everyone should enjoy this game. This
I
game,
agree.
it's so like everyone's in love with Carla. It's hilarious. All the memes and stuff that come out. The thing is a meme machine, but it's just it's completely it deserves everything in the mascot, and I'm so glad they remedied the situation. They were like, okay, we'll drop the parity because they realized we need this on our box this year. Like you cannot have not have this game on there PlayStation to have it. So it makes sense that they'd be like, okay, we'll drop it, put the game on here. It might come a little late. It have to come a little later because Starfield releases September the 6th. So you don't want to release it next to Starfield. So you probably want to wait till what, October? Um,
October would be
so
good. Maybe
yeah,
November.
I was thinking somewhere around there, October, November, because even if it releases near Forza, it's not really going to affect anything. But hey, it's great news for my Xbox friends. Enjoy the game, um, and just have fun because everyone deserves to play this game.
Yeah. All right. And I also am pretty happy about the just for just for conversation's sake, and I'm also for the players who there are some people who only have a Series S. Now I don't know why you would do that to yourselves when you should have both, or But there are some people who only have a Series S, and now getting the chance to play what is considered for a lot of people their game of the year is absolutely excellent. I also like that we are seeing that in this case there is some willingness to compromise on Phil Spencer's part. Let's see here. Swin, is that how you say his name? I'm not good with these European names. It's European, right?
Go with it. Just roll
Yeah.
with it.
All right.
Yeah,
Super happy to confirm that after meeting with Phil yesterday, we found a solution that allows us to bring Baldur's Gate 3 to Xbox players this year. Something we've been working towards for quite some time. All improvements will be there with split screen co op on Xbox Series X. Series S will not feature split screen co op, but it will also include cross save. Ooh, cross save progression between Steam and the Xbox Series. So I think it's excellent. And then this guy Cromwell continued with, "We've said many times in the past that the issue is getting split screen and working on the Series S, which is taking more time, but it's in progress. It's a huge technical hurdle, but we are unable to release the game on the ecosystem without this feature." So that was basically the reason why the Xbox consoles were not getting Baldur's Gate 3 at the same time as the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 3,
Wow.
PlayStation platforms, my bad, the PlayStation platform. Um, I believe that Phil said that, was it a parity clause, that games have to run not exactly the same, obviously, because the Series X is more powerful, but when it comes to certain features, they have to be the same across the platforms. Is that
Yes.
true, Singer or Dong?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was there is a parity clause there. Um, but like they're kind of bending the rules because I
Yes.
know it's going to touch a little bit on the Gamescom thing. But there was a quote from Philly, um, from Big Phil, and he mentioned about Forza not having split screen, and he was like, "We have the data, which makes sense, and we decided to put all of our dev work into other things, so not bothering with split screen. So clearly, not a lot of people are using the feature anyway. Hence, they decided to forego it in Forza. So I don't think it was that hard to bend the clause to your needs because they were probably like, well, this is the amount of people. Will it really affect much? Probably not. So let's just roll with it.
It does open up a can of worms, however, right?
Yes.
It definitely, there's going to be some other devs who say, well, you did it for Baldur's Gate 3. Why don't you do it for us? We have this feature that might not be very popular amongst everybody, so why can't we get by it? So this probably was not a light decision in any way, shape, because it's certainly not ideal to do this. You're going to have a sticker on the box that says if you are a Series S owner, sorry, no split screen for you. Just so you're aware, this is not something you wanted. This is probably not something you envisioned happening when you created the Series S, and especially the way they marketed it. So it is a problem, but it was a decision. I definitely concur that it was a decision that had to be made for this game right now because this game is game of the year material. This game is by some considered to probably be generational at this point um, for the gaming industry, and you don't want that type of game missing out on your ecosystem in this type of big year. Even if you say, well, we got plenty to play, we got Starfield, we got Forza, not everybody on your, on Xbox is playing those games. It's not 100% across the board. You want to have as many games, many great games as possible, and you don't want to make your consumer base wait. And you don't want to make them wait if there is a way to do an exception for a feature that is going to be used by maybe 1% of 1%. So I think at this point it had to be done. But it's certainly, you got to take your lumps. It's something that could be criticized. We've seen plenty of criticism for the Series S as this generation has gone on. It's not universal. It's not industry wide as some people would like to have you believe. But there are certainly some things that have popped up that have raised some questions, and this one is just going to add to that pile. But definitely a great move. It's a big win for Xbox, for Phil to go ahead and make this exception, because now there are going to be people on Xbox that get to enjoy what is going to go down as probably a GOAT for a lot of people, including myself. It's incredible.
Nice, yeah. And honestly speaking, even though it's not necessarily very nice, but if other developers are like, "Well, you did it for Larian, why can't you do it for us?" I'm like, "Well, is
Yeah.
your game a 96 on
Right.
Metacritic?"
Pull that out. Pull that one out.
Is your game a generation
Yeah.
defining RPG?
Yeah.
Like, did you
Yeah.
define? Is it of the caliber of an Elden Ring or
Right.
what are the games? Tears of the Kingdom? It's
Yep. Yep.
if it's some little indie game, you probably just say, fuck it, whatever.
Right.
You release it when you release it. But if who knows? Who knows what could happen? Devs might ask for it. I would imagine it'd just be features like split screen. I don't think there'd be many features other than that missing.
Seems to be the sticky. Seems to be the sticky feature right
Yeah,
now, right?
split
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, seems to be the problem. Another cool little thing too, to add to what you were saying in the beginning there, Luca. It's cross progression between PlayStation and Xbox as well, because your save is stored by Larian servers. So
Hmm.
if
Oh,
you
I love
are
to hear that.
if you are a dual system owner and you want to switch between the two, hey, you got that ability on this one.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I'm a big fan of those kinds of decisions. I love I love cross save. I love cross progression. It's one of the best features in gaming, in my opinion. If it's like, if it's the same account, why shouldn't you be able to keep your characters? You know what I'm saying? I think it's
Mm-hmm.
dumb to lock characters off on platforms. I mean, I'm all for exclusives in general, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But if like you already own the game on one platform, you can go ahead buy it on the other platform. You shouldn't have to start over. And I wish more developers would implement features like that. It's
Yep.
really needed in this day and age, especially since we are mostly a tech focused society at this point.
It should be easier for sure. I've got an ESO Elder Scrolls Online character, 300-400 hours.
Fantastic game.
Fantastic game, but it's locked to PlayStation side. So, and I
I
can't
play.
transfer it to Xbox. I hate it.
I have beaten all the raids. I have all
Whew.
the raid skins.
Nice.
We got world's first on North America Xbox on more of Locage. Yeah, more of Locage. The cat trial, and it was. I got so much time. I got like 900
Mm.
to 1,000 hours in ESO.
Yeah.
I have so much gold resources. I moved to PC.
Yep.
Guess what? Everything's
Yep.
locked to the fucking Xbox account.
Yep.
And I cannot move it over. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not starting again. I'm just not.
Exactly.
I put too much time and effort, collected all these wonderful things, and now you're just going to stop me? Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and discuss Gamescom 2023. Did anything interesting happen? Did somebody walk up to the stage while somebody was speaking? Did anything like that? Anything?
Can Keeley not learn? Why would you not have security immediate? Like after the Game Awards, I thought for sure he would have people that were like maybe sitting even in the front row or from the back. It still took what 10, 15 seconds for somebody to get to those two guys. I just can't believe it happened again, but not shocking.
And you had Todd Howard on stage. Like, if
Yeah.
someone meant harm, you would have
Yep.
got two for the price of one.
Yep.
Like, you could have taken two straight up.
Yep.
And security was nowhere. And it's like you either need to hire new security, people who are actually competent, or you need to change it some way, because being able to run up and just say GTA 6 is dumb in itself. But he's done it before. But I don't know how Jeff keeps. Maybe at the Game Awards, someone's going to come up and say, I don't know, free Trump 2024 or something. And I guarantee you the security will get there like good minute later, you know?
And that's the thing, like people pulling stunts like this and like Jeff clearly not having the precedent to even stop and consider, oh, maybe I should have better security, is going to, I fear it's going to lead to the decision of, okay, stuff isn't open to the public then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
because if the fact that this has happened the first time was egregious enough, it shouldn't have happened the first time, but the fact that it happened a second time, I'm sorry, but I think he should be ashamed of himself. Like, he wants to be taken seriously. He wants to be seen at probably at the same level as the Oscars and such, right? With his award show.
Yes.
But it's like, bro, if you can't even provide basic security for the people who you're inviting out, then what's the point? Because if I was someone who was in the industry and I was a developer, I'd be like, I would go on stage, but can I be sure that there's not some kid who's going to pop up out of nowhere and say, what did he say? Bill Clinton,
Yep.
Go ahead.
I had a thought. Do you know who wouldn't get interrupted and the security would rush in 2 seconds flat? If he had Kojima up on stage, there'd be snipers posted on the rooftops. There'd be helicopters and tanks parked outside. That bitch would be like, Fort Knox, you ain't going to be able to go nowhere near that stage. Everyone else, don't worry about it. Give it 30 seconds.
I mean, yeah, man, that's what I'm saying with it. It's just, I don't know what the thought process is behind him. He's so focused on other things. I'm just thinking about all the fucking musical bands that play, musical artists, whatever, that play it at his Game Awards show. I'm just like, all right, we got the money to do all that stuff, but not for basic security. What's up, man? So, anything else happen at Gamescom?
Well, lots of interviews, lots of news, updates on games coming out. So yeah, a lot of that happened.
Lots of great looking games as well.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen some things, some footage from Gamescom, and whew, some of these games. That stuff.
Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, that game looks so good.
I'm not a Souls guy, but I love the aesthetics. I love the action. I love everything about them except for the trial and error aspects of it. And I hate these types of games. And the fact that Black Myth showed up there with an updated version, playable, people trying it out for the first time in public, and everybody coming away saying this is the real deal, that says a lot for that dev. Because obviously we've seen a lot of BS shots seemingly from some companies, especially the smaller companies that come out of nowhere and all of a sudden they've got these games that look like they've been AAA developers for like 20 plus years. The fact that Black Myth seems to be living up to everything that we first saw and maybe even going beyond it, as a lot of people mentioned that it looks even improved from the first time that we ever saw it. That says something for that team, and I think it's impressive, and that just adds to what is already looking like a stacked lineup next year on top of it. We think this year is going to go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest all time. Next year is lining up a lot like that. So Black Myth Wukong definitely caught my attention. Crimson Desert, that new updated gameplay as well from Pearl Abyss. Again, the East, these Korean developers are just killing it right now. But really, really ambitious single player game from them coming from Black Desert Online, which my brother Steele, he absolutely loves. He's got hundreds, if not thousands of hours in the Black Desert. But for them to go from an MMO style type game and take it to a single player RPG with tons of new mechanics, I saw they showed off you can pole vault over walls and stuff like it's crazy. You got dragon riding in it. It looks like Zelda mixed with like Assassin's Creed mixed with all these different types of games. If they get this all together, this is going to be a shock and awe type game coming from the East as well. Crimson Desert looked fantastic.
I will say that frame rate did still look a bit spooky.
Yes,
that frame rate was looking a bit. They need to definitely need to polish that frame rate.
But it looks so gorgeous. It looks so gorgeous. I'll take some stutters. I'll take some stutters. No, I hope they do polish up the frame rate, but obviously that's something they got to improve. But otherwise, that game looked phenomenal too. Lords of the Fallen continues to impress again. I think the Souls fans are just eating so good right now. There's so much out there. But yeah, no, I thought Gamescom, I thought overall, Keighley, again, love or hate Keighley, doesn't matter. Keighley is who he is. We know what he's about. But the fact is that he does good for the industry overall. And I think that what's really nice to see is that almost every time that he puts on a new show, it gets better than the last show. He learns. And I thought the flow of this show, the pacing was the best that we've seen out of a Keighley show yet. And I thought that he didn't break it up too much. The cosplay thing in there was the one moment where I was like, really, do we really need to do this? But okay, got to celebrate people. That's fine. It's there. But it did break it up a little bit. But outside of the security lapse, which is a big one, and the cosplay thing, I really thought that this was a nice, well put together show. Starting off with Inan Zur. Yes, everybody likes to make fun of, the musicals and stuff that Keighley likes to do. But Inan Zur with Starfield soundtrack right out the gate with the piano and the video, and then having Todd come up on stage was the perfect way to set the tone. So I thought Keighley did a nice job overall with opening night live.
For the my highlights of the Gamescom so far, it has to one of them is Stalker 2.
Yes,
that game is looking exactly how I want it. Kind of horror-y. The graphics are looking crispy crisp. Frame rate's looking good. I think we're gonna have a very good time whenever that decides to release, hopefully this year. As you said, Lords of the Fallen, Crimson Desert. The look around Assassin's Creed Mirage is just looking better and better. That is definitely day one. Like this, they need to do this more. Assassin's Creed need to switch to this. These small little tighter games, because they just do so much more with what you got, and it looks crazy.
And we got pricing like $49.99 too, right?
Exactly.
I think it's
reasonable.
Game. Perfect. Yes.
Like, do more of this. Don't make more Valhallas. Make more Mirages, because they will sell. Like, that is so much easier to consume. What else was shown? Black Myth Wukong was looking spectacular as always. I'm pretty sure Warhammer released a trailer, or they had a on the floor Warhammer uh, Space Marine 2. There we go. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. Looking absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Overall, the Jeff Keighley show was okay. I wouldn't give it an amazing score or anything. If I had to give it a score, I'd give it like a middle of the road. I'd give it like a 4, maybe a
Wow.
5,
Wow. Okay.
because it's there's nothing really new in
No,
which we
but
knew.
yeah, he told
Everything,
us that. Yeah.
it was just updates on games that we knew, and so I can't really score it that high because it's like everything's expected. Um, so overall, good job. Although you need to work on the security, Mr. Keeley.
Yes. Yes.
What's up, Aaron?
Hey guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. I just woke up.
No worries, man. I won't keep
Hey,
you too long.
no worries. Yeah, I tried to sleep, and get some hours before the time zones. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing great.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just show off some footage that Aaron provided for me for Gamescom. There's no audio, right?
No audio.
Yeah, because you were there.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Absolutely. So I'm still here in Germany. And just a thing regarding this conversation, and then Keely's way of handling things, and so forth. I think that it's also important to remember that Gamescom is, of course, it's not it's not Keely's show.
Yeah.
It's a thing from the city of Cologne. Maybe you just touched on this, but uh, like I wouldn't expect this guy to be the guy responsible for the security. Like that
Okay.
is on
Okay.
Kölnmesse in
Okay.
Germany.
Okay.
And so if you like every time they do these things, it's him and some other co-host, which I think is some German, maybe big streamer or influencer and stuff like that, or somebody close to the city. Which is why they have these, the environmental designs, or the environmental kind of prizes and rewards and stuff like that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
this. I think this pretty much falls on the shoulders of Kölnmesse and the
Okay.
organization around Gamescom.
Good to know.
More so maybe than Keeley
Sure. Good to
himself.
know.
But
That's good
Good to
yeah.
know.
information. Yeah.
It's bad publicity though for him because people don't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
That's
But this
that's
is
specifically where, yeah.
what's up, Samo?
I guess he's not there.
Oh
Was it?
man, I was all talking. I was muted. I was all, hey, what up, what up, what up?
There
And
was
then, like,
nothing important coming out of there, anyways. Don't worry about it, slow mo.
oh, what's good, man?
What's
good?
going on, man?
I showed up. I showed
Yeah.
up 30 minutes late. You know why, right?
Yeah. Because the shop. Yeah.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Why? You just got to come
No.
in here and give me a hard time.
No. Of course
Oh.
not.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm good. Hope you guys have been having a good show so far. What's up, Pong? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Sam?
Hey.
What's up, Mr. Weak Knees?
Mr. Weak Knees. Okay, you know what? I see somebody pissed in your tea this morning. Okay. All right, it's all right, man. Luca, what's up?
What's up?
Chilling. What are we looking at? Is this Gamescom?
Yes, Aaron was there.
Ah, okay. This is your footage, right?
Yeah. I got some footage.
Would you like to discuss your experience at Gamescom?
No, I mean, of course, like that. For anybody that is curious, it is the world's biggest convention for video games. If you got any kind of hint of like how big the Xbox booth is, which it is pretty big, but it's only covering maybe, let's see, a fifth or a sixth of one of the halls. So they have a really big booth this year. So that is one hall out of 10. So 10 halls filled with this is what's going on. It's over 1,100 companies and studio that is including studios and publishers, of course, that are attending the show this year. And on top of these 10 halls, they also have, I think it is 3 to 4 halls specifically for trade visitors and press and media as well. So it's a lot that is going on. Gamescom opening night live has been a thing for the last bunch of years, but Gamescom itself has been around since 2009. And um, so it starts off with the opening night live, and I think that's always the fun thing because for in the public eye, or the ones that don't really attend to Gamescom, as soon as the opening night live is over, then everybody's like, okay, that was Gamescom. But that's actually just the night before everything starts. All the interviews, all the behind the scenes, all the tests, and Wednesday it's trade and visitors before noon, and in the afternoon they actually open up for early visitors that pay extra money to go there when there's not that many people around. So that's mostly press and visitors and early adopters. And then Thursday it officially opens up for the big consumer halls, the 10 halls, and then it goes on up until Sunday. So it's a big one, and today, Saturday, and tomorrow will be the days where I can myself just attend to the show floor, the consumer halls, because on my part it has been just appointments back to back from 9 o'clock to 6 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, as well as the DevCom. They have a DevCom developer conference, smaller one, convention as well, just ahead of it from Monday to Tuesday. Oh yeah, that's pretty much what it is, and it's
Isn't Gamescom typically, like, as far as like the number of like foot traffic people there, as well as the number of studios and games, isn't it much bigger than what we have seen from E3?
Oh, yeah. E3 is. I mean, I was almost one, a fly on the wall. It's not even close. And you have big conventions even in China and other parts of the world where it's not even close. Like the number of people that are attending, sure, it could be between a couple of hundred thousands up to maybe, I don't think they've ever touched 500,000 visitors. But for the city of Cologne, this is a huge tourist attraction each year. It's not only the halls in Kölnmesse, as it's called. It's also like they run concerts downtown. They turn off big parts of the inner city to have concerts and stuff like that. So it's a big cultural thing in Cologne.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
And
I
it's
appreciate.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, and it's expensive as hell. So you gotta be early with that living. I just find myself super lucky in trying to work out a way to get to know people, so I can stay here without paying anything. Actually, I'm super lucky. I'm super lucky.
Actually, I truly believe that networking is one of the most important aspects of any sort of career, and I think that you can get very far in life if the right people like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I make it a point to be as nice as possible when it comes to situations that benefit me at work.
No, you're right.
So
I do have a
Absolutely.
question for Aaron. It was judging by what you've been saying, you haven't had the chance to go to the Starfield conference thing yet.
Yeah. So Wednesday morning, these things were booked early on. Wednesday morning, and here's the funny thing. Of course, in the Xbox booth, you have the Xbox PR rep that I have one contact with talking about. So what kind of appointments can we expect from the show during the trade visitors halls? Because that's what I'm targeting. That's the consumer booth is one thing. That is the big thing in the big hall that you saw just on the footage. And the PR reps from Xbox invited press and content creators and influencers and people like that on Wednesday morning before it opened up to the early adopters as well. And listen, so I'm still not sure if I'm going to take a review code for that game. Where we will be giving a review code for our small podcast for that game, and it's between me and a super nerd that is so much into these RPGs. So I'm thinking maybe not, or maybe should I? I don't know. But they are also targeting to cover Baldur's Gate when it comes out on the PS5. So I don't. Long story short, I don't. I've been going media blackout as much as possible. So I never went there. Is what
Oh,
I'm trying to say.
I was gonna say on
Yeah.
the scale of 1 to 10, how good, but never mind.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you can hear stuff like that, and I was there during the opening. I went there at 9 o'clock in the morning. I went to the booth and I talked to a couple of people that I know from Sweden, who was there, and then I immediately, and you who have known me since the past, you know what type of person I am. I went to the It at Xbox booths and just spoke to the devs. And tried to set up like meetings way down the line the same week and stuff like that. Because before I came in, I knew that I had a fully booked schedule, but you always want to try to find things on the show floor that comes from smaller devs that maybe don't have the same attention within the media. Like weeks up until the point we've gotten all these emails for everybody that want to book everything. And like, here's where you can book schedules for this game or this unannounced game during Gamescom. And you always got to know that like the smallest dev don't have that kind of traction. They don't have that kind of PR company partners where they can actually just get out to the media in that way. So there's always this in between meetings that I try to like. So what is this game? Who are you? And I'm will never be able to cover even more than a fraction of everything that is there. So when I stood there and talked to the devs, of course, you heard a lot of screams from inside that theater. And I remember the Xbox PR rep. She told me pretty much like you should go in there and and like no, I don't know. I don't want to see anything because we don't want to see. I don't want to be spoiled by any coverage. And I know what she wanted to say. Like she wanted to be
Did you
surprised
say you
that
heard
Spencer
screams coming from there?
screamed. Yeah, like she wanted to say that it was
What?
yeah, like fans. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she
We've been out there, folks.
yeah, but she wanted to say like she wanted to say, but she wanted to leave it as a surprise that Spencer and Todd Howard and Pete Hines was there, and that's all. It's just for me. I love the passion. I can understand the fans and listen. I've been having a one of the best meetings I've ever had that has emotionally impacted me as a person the most this week. It never really comes from those things, but I get the passion. But that was a lot of people there that was super hyped for Starfield and what they saw behind closed doors. You could hear it, and I heard it the first thing in the morning, 20 minutes after everything started, and obviously that was because all those big hotshots was there. So I guess all the content creators and influencers inside that theater got super hyped and just screamed when they saw them coming on stage.
That's
And
so
I think
cool.
they actually, yeah.
I would love to meet Todd Howard.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Bucket list right there for
Yes,
sure.
he told Howard.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. Aaron, did you get a chance for the new Certain Affinity game, the Project Laurel, that they were showing behind closed doors there as well? Did you get a chance to see that at all? Hands on?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. All right. Just curious. I know some.
Oh
people
yeah,
did, so.
yeah. Feel free to ask. I mean, I have these 16, 17 appointments that I've had, and it's mostly games that a lot of people don't know. I'm covering both for our podcast as well as our little blog, but also two magazines, specifically one that is called Robot here in Sweden, and it's a kids magazine. It's one of the two only physical print magazines about video games that we produce in Sweden that we have left. And so that's a really wholesome thing, and the target audience is between 8 to 11 years old. So I'm doing a lot of stuff that works towards that demographic. And one might think that, okay, so he's only doing Sonic. Well, yes and no.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
of
listen,
course,
I can say
yeah.
for sure with knowing Everborn Saga, please pick up his comic, that there are grown adults who absolutely adore Sonic and just won't stop talking about him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's not
No,
just
you're right.
kids.
No, you're right.
So
And the beautiful thing about that magazine is that, in my opinion, they really work hard to kind of understand that when we were kids and when we were reading those magazines, depending on your generation, like there's that feeling where you want that thing to be like that, the thing that you're hyped for. You want to be confirmed in that passion, in that love for that specific thing. So we're trying to always target that as well. But I find myself in a very hard position writing about games for so many years. But like, okay, now I got to do this, but I got to dumb it down and still keep that essence uh, for a demographic that is super, like the attention span is so much shorter. But at the same time, if you just put enough time and work into it, you can also make it a beautiful thing, because a lot of the subscribers for that specific magazines is, of course, people like me who have grown up with it and got their own kids and feel like I want my kid to be able to read a magazine about video games.
yeah, no, I
So
definitely
yeah.
hear you on that. I remember growing up, there were a lot of magazines. What was that one
Mm.
magazine? Do you guys remember like one of the
There's a
biggest
lot.
ones?
EGM.
EGM, Game Pro. I
Mhm.
remember. Okay, now I'm really dating myself. Nintendo Power. It was like just Nintendo Power was like the only gaming magazine. It was just like I was just amazed that there was an actual magazine
That was
for
the
video
best one.
games.
Yeah,
Each system slow mo had actually magazine. Like Dreamcast had their own magazine, which was
Mhm.
phenomenal, right? And then
Mhm.
PlayStation had their own. It was awesome when that
yeah,
happened.
I was sub to, was it Game Informer?
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah,
Game
so
Informer.
I would love getting I would love getting the new magazines and seeing like what was
Absolutely.
out. Like the shit was pretty cool, man. Shit was genuinely cool.
Mm.
So thank you for that, Aaron. I appreciate your insight on all
Who
of
could forget the
that.
Dreamcast magazine?
Well, not me, because I'm not old enough to know what that is, but I know what the Dreamcast is. I know what the Dreamcast is. But okay, guys, I did want to talk about Starfield for a little bit, mostly
Mm.
because I want to talk about this article from GQ. Because
Yes.
every time I look at it, it just starts making it just makes me giggle. You know what I'm saying? So the author, this article came out 2 days ago, and Starfield's looking like it's going to be a good time, guys. I know that the code went out for it last week, and a couple people I've talked to seem to be enjoying it. So I love to hear that. But I want to talk about this preview, mostly because I just think it's interesting. It's interesting, right? But this author goes on and discusses Bethesda's history with their other titles. There's a reason I'm laughing. Bethesda's history with their other titles as well, right? But let's talk about his thoughts on Todd Howard here, okay? So this is if you guys see the screen, maybe not. Let me zoom in a little bit.
Mm.
Whoa.
Oh man.
All right. So Todd Howard is to games what Tom Cruise is to cinema.
Oh, I read this. Yeah.
I think I wrote this. I think this is one of my ghostwriting projects right here. I think this is what this
He cackles when I suggest this theory to him. Slight, boyishly handsome,
Mm.
sharp-jawed, and tussle-haired.
Mm.
He has the look of classical antiquity.
I see no lies. I see no lies, Luca, at all.
Oh my gosh.
I need someone who looks at me the same way this guy looks at Todd Howard.
Exactly, right?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought about you, Luca, when I read this piece earlier. I actually thought, because I remember you have been mentioning his boyish looks.
See, exactly. That was the perfect
You know,
word
we
choice.
did have that
That was the
conversation last
perfect word
week.
choice. I was like, no, boyishly handsome. I said that too. I said he's boyish. His boyish grin. Okay, listen,
Yeah.
it's a little mischievous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got another subscriber here, I think. There you go.
Oh shit, dude. As the studio's leading man since the early
Noughties.
noughties, he has become a semi-mythical figure to gamers who hang off his every word. Now 52 years old, the only real sign of him being flesh.
It's God Howard. He's not mortal.
The only real sign of him being flesh and bone are some faint bags under his sea blue eyes.
Wow.
Yep.
Sea blue. That's
His
a,
sea blue
I
eyes.
just had a thought. This sounds like it came straight out of the head of Jeff Keighley when he looks at Kojima. That's the only other biggest bromance I could see.
I
Other
could
than
imagine
this.
something similar. He is reserved, but not at all shy, talkative, but never all that forthcoming, especially about his life outside of games. And like Cruz, he is innately, intensely curious about the creative process. Huh.
I love
So, I
this.
mean, I was, I was watching Mr. Matty Plays video, and he's the one who brought this up. I'm gonna keep a real view. This article, just like that particular section, is fucking hysterical. Like, because we talk about people being like obsessed with certain people in the industry, right? Like having certain feelings about certain people in the industry. But you could tell that this guy is like a Bethesda fanboy, 100%. You know what I'm saying? 100 per fucking cent.
Or at least
And
a Todd fanboy, right?
Yeah.
Minimum.
they're one and the same, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tom might have to get a restraining order, just just for a little while,
And oh, that's true. Eastside says it is a GQ article. That's a good point. You're right. Todd Howard, like I said, he is aging like fine wine. He's so handsome. He has like looked relatively the same his entire fucking career in this industry, so to speak. And so, I mean, listen, maybe I ghost wrote this article. You don't know.
Hey, listen.
To be honest,
Let's not stop hiding it. Like, yeah, I think that this article in itself, which is the reason why I told you just like minutes ago that I would go like I'd be going media blackout. But like, of course, there are no previews out there because it is a very strict embargo with one specific date. So there are no preview embargoes. But of course, if anybody, just like Keeley, broke embargo with saying like it is an amazing experience, yada yada yada. Like, as long as it's positive, then I guess it's okay. But I'm so.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with folks being like, the game's awesome, the game's amazing, I'm really enjoying myself.
But on the contrary, if somebody would say, "Man, I can't talk about it, but man, it sucks," like they would be shut down by the PR reps.
I mean, that's what happens when it's good publicity versus bad publicity.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I think it also depends, because even if they are getting some good publicity, if you are someone who is obtaining illegal copies of Starfield and distributing them for a financial gain, and also uploading the footage on a shaky cam onto the internet, even if you are saying like, okay, the game's great, I'm really enjoying myself, this is awesome, that's also not very good. As so this guy got arrested. All right, got arrested for stealing the footage for Starfield and uploading it.
No, he got arrested for stealing the actual copies.
Yeah, he stole copies of the game.
Okay.
Yes. He stole copies from a warehouse that he was working at.
Yes, he did upload the... he uploaded the footage, but he got done in for just stealing the games. So.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
The world is broken. Yeah.
I would never do something like that personally.
Hey.
Mostly because first of all, I'm not built for any sort of jail time. Let's start there. I just wouldn't last 1 second. You know what I'm saying? So that's mostly why I wouldn't do it, just because I wouldn't want to deal with any of that. So
I didn't see the footage, but I heard he showed his face too.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
And slow-mo, he put his gamer's tag. He kept his gamer's tag, his real gamer's tag, in the footage. So he got banned first. First, they banned his gamer tag and his console. And then he came out with his apology video. This is smoking a blunt on the porch, right? Just flat out, face on camera, saying, Todd, I'm sorry, man, but it is a good game. Like, he gave it a good review. But, yeah, you're going to steal stuff from your job and risk it all for Starfield and put your face on camera. That's another level right there.
I'm just hearing that. I pictured that whole SNL clip where the FBI is like listening in to like criminals just admitting or just on camera admitting, and they're just like high-fiving each other and shaking hands because it's the easiest arrest in the world. They're just like, oh yeah, this is perfect.
I can imagine that conversation.
Everything.
I can imagine that conversation in prison. What are you in for? Murder. What are you in for? Robbery. What are you in for? I stole a copy of Starfield and uploaded it onto the internet.
Well, hopefully, given what the crime is, he will not be sent to a maximum level
Yeah.
security.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully he's not in with murderers. Maybe if Todd has his way, we will be. Lock that guy up for life. No, I appreciate him though. I appreciate the risk because I did watch the leak footage. It was amazing, and it actually probably sold some copies. As bad as the footage was, you could still see how great the game was. So hats off to him. I appreciate that.
Damn, this turned around quick. What just happened? You watched the what? Okay, man. Did you manage to see how many viewed that footage before it was taken down?
No, it was on a very sketchy file upload website, like tons of pop-ups.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Listen. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy didn't, of course, have any capture, so he just.
Yeah, I just I don't know, man. Again, fucking idiot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So dumb. But I did look at some of the footage. Someone uploaded it on YouTube, and I saw that he had his face in it and everything. Oh, and I also watched Cassie's video on it and stuff, and she was just like, "Well, I don't blame him for trying, just getting caught." So, just I don't know, man. I don't know,
Crazy.
but with all that in my, y'all hear those sirens?
Nope.
No.
Okay, that's
no
good.
sirens.
With all that in mind, you speaking of sirens, I've been watching, as you guys know, I live in Chicago, so I've been watching Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD.
Oh, he's
And I've
watching the
been
whole trilogy, huh?
I've been really enjoying myself. I'm loving the crossovers between the shows. They're so seamless. Absolutely adoring it. I hope they're getting paid extra to be in different shows, but probably not.
They do.
Oh, that's good. It's good.
Yeah, I watch Fire. I don't watch the other ones. I watch Fire, but yeah, they get paid to be in each other's stuff.
What I really like is that they all have their own distinct flavor. Chicago PD reminds me a lot of The Shield. Has anyone here watched The Shield?
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
The Shield is really good.
Yes.
I fucking love The Shield. Fucking love The Shield. And the main character of Chicago PD reminds me a lot of the main character of The Shield. So that's very much similar vein for that.
Oh, because he's corrupt?
Yes. Extremely so.
Yeah.
Extremely so.
But is he boyish though?
He's got his own sort of charm, but you could tell he's got a thick accent, and he's an old guy. You know what I'm saying?
He sounds like he's been smoking cigarettes since birth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got you.
So definitely check those shows out if you haven't. That's how I've been spending my free time. But yeah, okay, what else happened? Oh yeah, so I asked people, I was like, can y'all give me the update on the gaming community this week? So DZ, shout out to DZ, said, are you sure, sis? And I was like, yes. He's like, okay, so the bots have stopped harassing Larian since Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out this year. Ponies still think Baldur's Gate 3 is some timed exclusive fodder for competing against Starfield. Starfield got leaked, and the dude who leaked it got his Xbox account nuked, okay? Sony changed the name of the Project Q to PS Portal. People are already spreading misinformation on the PS Portal. People are mad. Some people want to buy the PS Portal. They call Phil a flip-flop because he changed his stance on the Series S parody clause 4 hours after saying no. Addendum, the guy who leaked Starfield got arrested. Okay, so shout out to DZ. Thank you. 3-Bit said, guy got arrested for trying to sell Starfield copies. Grums made a dumb post about Starfield's main menus relating to having bad development. MS letting Series S parody slide for Baldur's Gate 3 now after Phil said a day before he considers parody important. As I've said this before, Phil is one of my favorite fucking liars. But anyway, so not only that, there was something. Oh yeah, I think Pete Hines replied to Grums and was, first of all, we all know that Pete Hines is a fucking asshole. Let's start there, right? Dude is an asshole. I find him very hilarious most of the time, but other times I'm like, yeah, this dude's. But he did what he had to do. He came through and he defended the developers at Bethesda, defended his crew, and was just like, yeah, use some quotation marks. Do you remember what he said, Singer?
I don't remember what he said.
Okay, well, if you can look that up for me, that'd be great. If you want to. So Carlo, shout out my boy, Clown says, a guy who Jeff Keighley didn't know jumped on stage asking about GTA 6. Where is GTA 6? I'm the same. I'm the same. People pledge their allegiance to plastic. Gamescom's cool. Shout out to Nikki saying Xbox is taking L's again. Shout out to Dutch saying I've had some complete disconnect because he was at Gamescom, so shout out to him. Crazy Louis says confirm spoilers for midweek next week. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, DJ. I see it's similar stuff. Light Shadow Onyx says Armor Core 6 dropped. Okay. PlayStation Portal looking spooky. All right, let's see here. I'm just looking to see if there's anything new. Thank you everyone who responded to my post. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay,
I've got the Pete Hines quote if you wanted to, Luca.
Thank you. Oh, yep, thank you. Go ahead.
All right, so Pete Hines responding to that Grum's post, he said, or they designed what they wanted, and that's been our menu for years and was one of the first things we settled on. Having an opinion is one thing. Questioning out a developer's care because you would have done it differently is highly unprofessional coming from another quote-unquote dev.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, got his ass, and I appreciate that.
I like the slander there, considering if you know that guy's history, the quote-unquote dev is definitely there
deserved.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not slander if it's true.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. So, let's see here. What else happened this week? So Sony's portable PlayStation launches later this year for $200. I'm hearing some people. I watched MKBHD's video on it, and he was talking about how Bluetooth doesn't work unless it's with the ear pods, the PlayStation ear
You have
pods.
to have PlayStation Link.
Yeah,
on it to make it work. Which the new earbuds they're coming out with has it, as well as like
the new headset.
The new headset. So essentially, they if you want to get sound without having to hear the sound coming from your PlayStation 5, if you're close to it, or pulling out, going old school and sticking something into that 3mm jack, then you're not going to get sound.
Yeah. So MKBHD said that this was anti-consumer of Sony. Do you guys agree with that statement?
No, it's pro-consumer. It's just dumb. It's like the fact that you have this brand new 4K streaming, everything's great. Why don't you put it on there? Why don't you? It doesn't make sense. It's like, this is a companion for your console. Okay, cool. And then everyone's like, well, you can stream games for your PS5. And it's like, okay, cool. So if I go on holiday, does that mean I have to keep my PS5 on at home for the entirety of my holiday to play my games? Because as soon as the PS5 turns off, it's over.
What's the what is the word? What's the distance that you can have this thing away from the console?
Well, it has remote play,
Wi-Fi.
so you could, you just have to be on Wi-Fi. Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I
We know
don't
how that
really.
goes.
I mean, that's not the case because the fucking console's got to be on. So, this is your PlayStation's on. You're playing on your shit, man. Maybe it'll be good for people who have kids or their wife wants to watch some shit on the TV. That's good. I can see that.
That's just the only aspect I could see it working is the wife wants to use the TV. Okay, fine. I could carry on playing God of War on my little queue. But for the price and what you're getting, and that's basically what it's for, is it really worth it?
It is worth it for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
A very small percentage, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is an accessory. Again, I wish the journalists who wrote that they were launching a new handheld would go back and correct their articles. This is not a handheld device, okay? Well, technically it is, but
I mean,
it's an
yes.
yeah, technically it's an accessory, is what it is. It's fine. Again, if Sony wants to put money into this thing, so be it. But this is very Apple-like how they're handling it with no Bluetooth and that kind of stuff in 2023, kind of forcing people into either wired or going and buying their specific headphones, which I believe are $199 as well, I think, for their wireless earbuds. So I mean, again, I see what they're doing here, but man, is it a limited product. Again, hats off to anybody who can use it, but it is going to be single digit percentages here. I just don't see it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Is anybody on the panel going to pick it up?
Nope, I'm good.
What was the hardware again? Was a
The PlayStation Portal.
the Q one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will get those earbuds though. I like
Why?
those
200
earbuds.
for $200. Isn't that the price?
Yeah,
Yes.
most earbuds are most high quality earbuds are between 150 and 200.
Are you going to wait for some reviews?
I would like to say yes, but no, I'm not. I'm just gonna. I like
Oh.
earbuds. I'm a kind of.
I mean, I
earbud
understand.
lover.
I mean, listen, you
So-
already know how I feel about headphones. Like, I can't help myself. But like, I would wait
I'm
for some
just-
reviews. I'm sure there might be better out there for cheaper.
I mean, you look. Sony usually on their quality of earbuds, they're normally very very good. They're not the best anymore, but they are still of high quality. So I don't expect like the quality of it to be piss poor or anything like that. But it's earbuds, and I'm buying the earbuds.
All right. Yeah. Did you heard
And
about
it-
that world record? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was going to say it has the unfortunate acronym of PSP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very very unfortunate.
PSP was awesome, dude.
Yeah, the PSP was amazing, but when you break it down, it's like, did you get your PSP? Oh man.
170 at Costco. Shout out to that Costco membership. All right, so
You
let's
were
see here.
gonna say, Aaron?
No, so like, of course, this is probably not news to anyone that is more into other types of news. But if you remember that game company, Slomo, you know that game company, Luca Singer. Do you know that game company? The developers behind Flow, Flower, Journey, Sky.
What?
Well,
What game?
Okay, the game company, the studio is called That Game Company. They were the developer behind Flow, Flower, and specifically Journey, the indie game on PlayStation 10 years back.
Okay, what about them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they pulled off a world record during the Gamescom show event where they had the most. They brought together players from around the world. I'm reading from the press kit here on multiple servers in a mind-blowing display that successfully ended with more than 10,000 on a single screen at the same time. So they pretty much did a big kind of in-world virtual concert with the Norwegian singer Aurora. So
I like her music.
Yeah. She's been really blowing up during the pandemic as well, as I've heard. But yeah, so they did in the in-game concert, and they have this big arena inside the game. There is a social place where they collected more than over 10,000 users being there concurrently at the same time. But yeah, just a small whatever news
Cool. Okay.
that I brought.
Thank you
But
for that. I appreciate that.
that game though is that is, my meeting with that game company was one of these spontaneous meetings that I never expected these guys to be there, because that game company has always been that small studio for me. I never knew that they grow up to be 80 employees, that they had enough revenue to be able to do this whole event for themselves, both with booths on the business to business area as well as booths on the show floor for the consumer area. And listen, I have never in my life, when I've covered video games, wanted to work with video games. I've always wanted to just stay on the sidelines and just cover it and like enjoy the craft of breaking down a piece of art and then kind of putting my words and thoughts on it in a regular manner of just conveying a message of what it is to a reader or a listener. Like, I find enjoyment in doing that and the creative part. I do think that maybe you guys understand that perspective as well. So just even if there's been low-key offers like come and work with us here, or don't you want to work within video games, I've never really felt that up until this Friday when I spoke with these guys and had a longer interview regarding Sky and where they are at today. So many wholesome stories from that community. It's a free-to-play game. It is a game from that a studio that nobody talks about anymore because the ones who know only talks about Journey because it was a kind of an impactful game back then. But man, that such a cool thing. Like they have
Yeah,
over
that's
two hundred
awesome, dude.
million dollars. Yeah, yeah, it's such an amazing thing.
Yeah, I love to hear that for you. And like, as we as we all grow older and experience different
Hmm.
things, and get the chance to do things we never thought we would do when we were younger, our mindsets start to change. And I think it's cool that
Hmm.
were able to have that experience.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Wait, Armored Core. I did want to talk about this and bring it up to Singer specifically. So Armored Core 6 is currently at 87, which
Uh-huh.
is the highest that an Armored Core game has gotten. I have two questions. The first one being, now Singer, the other week, last week, you were saying that Armored Core 6 didn't have a chance. Now, it may not be nominated for Game of the Year. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I'm hearing some really good things about it. And the 87 is pretty good, man. So
I am. Thing is, I knew it was going to be good, but you look at
how
this
did you
year
know it was going to be good?
because From Software's been on a roll, and I love Armored Core.
But all the
So
other Armored Core games did not review well.
no, they didn't. This one
They were
propelled it
middlings. Yeah.
to the forefront of. It had relatively good concurrent players on Steam as well. For Armored Core, it's the fourth biggest this year now on Steam, which is good for. And I'm glad Armored Core is getting recognition finally, because I guarantee you, before this, ain't no one would know what Armored Core. Most of the people would know what Armored Core is. So I'm glad people are back into the mech kind of game. They're getting into all the mechanics. But the reason why I couldn't say it'd be in the Game of the Year nominations, look at this year. It's great, but is it better than a Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield, Spider-Man 2 potentially? Like,
But that's what I'm saying. There are 6 spots, and you only named 4 games. So
but then you have all the other games. Like, something else could get
like
nominated.
what?
Over
Like what?
what else is releasing or has released this year? I'm trying to think.
Okay, well that says enough.
Super. Actually, no. Super Mario, the new Super Mario game coming out this year.
Super Mario Wonder.
Yep, that could get nominated. I could definitely see that getting nominated for the amount of, because perhaps people absolutely love Mario. I'm already expecting it to be like a 90-something meta. So that could get nominated, and then you need a nice indie game. If they don't count Baldur's Gate as the indie game, then I mean, most of the time an indie game makes it. So
Yeah,
your
for sure. I
spots are
definitely think.
limited.
Thinking on it now. My second question, and this is for the rest of the panel. Do you think that Armored Core 6 got that From Software boost for the score?
A little bit. Yeah, this is a tad bit. Yeah.
The
You
answer
think
is
so?
yes.
Have you played it, Slow-Mo?
I have not played it, but
Okay.
I do think that just based upon how reviews are, and
Yeah.
sometimes a developer may get a boost just because it's expected from them, and
Sure.
so after Elden Ring, after Sekiro, now From Software is kind of like in that very exclusive company where they get the benefit of the doubt. Whereas a newer developer, if they had some particular bugs or issues or dated assets in certain areas, it would be something that's said in every single review, and they would be docked for it. From Software, it's kind of like, hey, but it's From Software. Of course, they, you know how it is. You know how it is
I
when
mean,
you're
From Software is my favorite developer, and I must
Yeah.
say that pretty much every game I've played from them
Yes.
is a hit in one way or another. Now, Dark Souls 2, I mean, we can have a conversation about Dark Souls 2, Was I fatigued by the time I beat the game, or is it actually bad? I don't know. Because I played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls, and then Dark Souls 2, like all within the same couple all in quick succession. So I don't know, man. But go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Armored Core 6 from the couple hours I played, and Steele's been playing it a ton. So
I've heard him talking about it.
Yeah, it's his game of the year right now. So again, that's the way he rolls. He's a huge Armored Core fan. I played Armored Core back in the day. I was one of the I don't know, 500,000 people that played Armored Core back in the day.
Let's
Because
go.
it was definitely niche, but I think from the couple hours I played and from what Steele's been saying, and I've been watching his footage too, it is very well done. Again, as somebody who is a mech fan overall, I love to see this. I think that Slow-Mo probably isn't wrong that maybe it got a little couple points here and there because it is From Software, but it also goes hand in hand with the fact that From Software is at the peak of their development right now. They know what they're doing, and this was a perfect time to bring back Armored Core. They want to have. They've talked about this publicly in an interview that they want to have a better cadence of games. They want to have multiple franchises going at the same time. And that's why they decided to start making another Armored Core. And people don't know, but Armored Core 6 has been in development for over 6 years. You can go back and find an interview where they first mentioned that they were starting to work on it. And you can see the polish. You can see how it plays. It is extremely, especially on PC at 120 frames. This game feels fan freaking tastic. Yes, is it cross generational? So can you still see moments where maybe they could have done more had they not had last gen involved in this? Sure, but overall, the look of the game, freaking awesome. The aesthetic, it's all there. It's a deep game. It is more hardcore than I think a lot of people jumping into this game because they are jumping in because it is just From Software, and they're like, hey, if it's From Software, I'm going to play it. You're going to get caught off guard a little bit, even if you're a Souls fan, just from the mech aspect of how deep you got to get into some of the stats. But they definitely made it more accessible than the old Armored Cores too. They took everything they learned and put it into this game. And you can really see that and feel it at the same time. I think this is a fantastic game. I think it's something that people should try if you have any interest in it. But I think it deserves mid-80s at least for this game. I really do. I think that they've done it. Yep.
Yeah,
But
I'm not really
this is.
a mech
Go ahead,
fan
Lola.
myself. Like, I do enjoy the Gundam Wing series for anime and stuff, but I'm not like really into mechs like that, which is why I've not picked it up. So
The, I
Isn't
absolutely.
this a new trend for From Software though? To be nailing. I know that from what I've been reading, that Elden Ring might not be like 150% perfect on the PC, but like hearing what you're saying, maybe
Yes.
they're on the right trajectory, even
Yes.
more so now with the Armored Core, because
Yes.
they really haven't had a super good history with the PC platform.
Correct.
Yeah, you pretty much need to start modding for most of their games on PC as soon as you install it. Like, all right, let's take off the FPS cap. Let's because all their games have a 60 FPS cap for the most part. But it's good to see that. I saw that where they were like on PC it's 120. I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, they're learning. They're learning. PC gamers don't want to be locked to 60. Come on, yeah. So that's good. So some people might still go ahead and unlock the frame rate because they just don't like to have shackles. But it's good that you got 120. Some people's rigs ain't gonna be able to hit that anyway. So
well, I have a question. Do we think that their next game will also be cross-gen?
I would say no. Their next one, I would say no.
you're not definitely not counting the expansion they're doing for Elden Ring, right?
Right.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say no. I don't think it'll be cross-gen.
Yeah, no, please no.
Hey,
Alright.
Tom. Since you played it,
Yep.
do you feel they definitely have streamlined or dumbed down the mechanics a bit in the game? Like, it doesn't feel as full on as the old Armored Cores. I mean, they still kept, obviously. I've seen some people in the Discord I was speaking to that they were like, "Wait, so you have to spend money for this and that?" And I was like, using your swords is cheaper than shooting them, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
money is not farmable in this game, and you'll have some management thoughts you would need to do because money is not abundant in Armored Core.
No, this game is built on replayability, right? It's not always. This game is not one of those games that's like, hey, you can do a single run through. This game is about going back. They've got, you get ranks, for each level, and your rewards are based upon that rank too. So it's about it really is about that first initial playthrough is learning the different mech styles, learning the different weapons, learning the different body builds. You know, energy management, weight management is all still a part of this game. It's about learning what your favorite kind of mech classes are or style of mechs are, and then going back and rerunning those levels for better rankings, right? And really figuring that out. What they did do is take away that frustration of having a build and it not working, and you can actually change, you know, your build mid-level, right, if you want to, which was not a part of the original Armored Core. So that's some of the accessibility that they put in here that kind of takes a little edge off. So I think from that aspect, they've done a nice job of trying to ease people into the game a little bit more than it used to be. It's still though, it is going to be trial and error. It is be going back to, you know, back to the rig and reworking your setup and your build to make sure that you're got it correct for the enemies that you're facing or the boss that you're facing. Now, I wouldn't say, some people have said, "Oh, you need some meta build to go beat some of these bosses." No, you don't.
No.
You got to learn how to boost. Again, don't stand still. You got to learn to use your environment. You got to do all the things you kind of do in Souls games too, right? Learning the boss patterns is a big part of this game as well. So there's still that grind there, and there's still that hardcoreness to it. But overall, it's definitely easier to get into this game than the previous ones. I just find it fascinating to watch a dev like From Software, who have obviously created almost a genre unto themselves with the Souls genre, and really perfect it, and then translate that over into a completely different style of game with an Armored Core, which they also created, but to bring it back to life after all these years and kind of see those changes that they made. I think they did, you know, a great job with that part of it. But I still got to say there is still a lot of, they didn't pull back from what made Armored Core. They just enhanced it more so this time around, in my opinion, obviously, from the little bit I've played.
Okay.
Because I know, what do you think the over-under is? People run out of ammo because they don't realize ammo is infinite.
Well, yes, of course you're going to have that. Of course you're going to have that.
Like people running around shooting everything, and then they're like, hang on a minute.
Right. But that's part of the learning process that we all went through. If you played the old Armored Cores back in the day, we weren't expecting that either, right? Because that was
run
different.
out of ammo in the middle of a mission. You know, like, wait,
what? I can't do anything about this? Yeah, no, I think that is part of the learning process. And the bosses themselves. Now, I only fought the first boss, which has been getting a lot of play online. A lot of people are going, wow, this first boss is crushing me. So that part of it, the bosses are incredible. The size and scope and scale is just off the charts when you're facing these things, from what I've seen Steel doing as well. And even Steel's a Souls fan. He's one of those guys. He plays everything hardcore. He even said that he was having issues with certain bosses and it really had to pay attention. So that part of it does translate from those Souls games for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, I did want to ask. What did I want to ask? Oh, I can't remember now. Oh, real quick, I did want to bring this up. I want to mention this to Slow-Mo.
Mhm.
So Darius, that Kiki Palmer's baby daddy.
Oh boy.
No.
What's up with him?
He and Kiki were hanging out together for her birthday.
Oh, wait. So has this all been just a big publicity stunt? Because she came out with them T-shirts real fast.
That's what we were saying, right? I'm like, man, it's kind of weird that she had that merchandise like ready to go. Her birthday was today.
Right. He made a tweet. She had T-shirts printed and ready to sell like the next day. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah. My partner in crime's a Virgo. You see, look at them, just talking, enjoying each other's company. And then this person's like, I've got to start minding my business. I'm gonna say, like, I saw the post and I burst out laughing because I was thinking about all the fucking think pieces people were coming out with because of them, quote unquote, beefing or whatever, right? You know, people got so, like, I'm telling you, man, people are so involved and so invested in these quote unquote celebrities' lives that they start getting upset on behalf of these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? So, which I mean, I can understand to a certain extent. But there's got to be a line. It's all about those parasocial relationships, man. Like, we don't know these people, so we don't
Right.
know what's going on behind the scenes. So again, I believe that I think we all mentioned. I was like, it's kind of weird that she has that merchandise ready to go. Like, it's barely been
Yeah,
a
that was
day.
like that's way too fast. And I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that, oh, maybe her publicist and her, PR team jumped on it and took care of it for her. But then I was just like, it's still way too like, I mean, that just seemed way too structured, way too
Yeah.
organized for that to
Mm.
be yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a little suspicious, but I think it's pretty funny. Other than that, nothing has really happened in pop culture. For anyone who knows who this person is, Chris Chan has had his charges dropped. So for anyone who is aware of what he did, I'm just throwing that out there.
Gross,
Yeah,
gross,
yeah,
gross,
yeah.
gross. Yep.
I don't know.
Uh,
A lot of this is, of course, over my head since living in Sweden. But who's that?
uh,
I got you.
Chris Chan is a
Go ahead, Luca. Go ahead.
is a very sick individual, who had some audio leak involving some things that may or may not have gone on between him and his mother, his
Mhm.
elderly mother, who does not seem like she's
She has dementia, doesn't she? Does she not?
yes,
I believe she does.
yes.
Yes. Yep.
Chris Chan is a internet personality, one who is very popular, um, and yeah. So
Is he a YouTuber? Is that it? Or is it like is an Instagram influencer, kind of like fitness, whatever, or whatever? Just
definitely
like
not fitness. Let's
oh,
definitely not fitness.
okay, yeah.
Actually,
No attention needs to be
Christian is
brought to this guy. I hear.
known
Yeah.
for the Sonichu character. I actually don't know too much about Christian. This dude was like before my time. He's a YouTuber though.
Mm,
He was a
mm,
YouTuber. So
okay.
let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. His charges got dropped. So the case was dismissed.
Oh, so okay. There we go. So the world is still on fire. Man, that sounds like it sucks. Depending on your description of this douchebag.
Yeah, dude is
Yeah.
no, Christian admitted that he quote unquote took on the trans persona in order to prey on women. Allegedly. That's just what I heard. I don't know if
Wait a
that's true or
minute.
not.
Is this guy who spoke? Wait a minute. Oh man. Oh, I think I've seen some clip on this. Okay. No.
Somehow I don't remember anything about this guy, but I kind of don't want to know anymore just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
No, it's
I'm
not worth it. Not worth
yeah,
it for this level.
so far I'm just like nothing good is
No.
coming from anything. So I kind of feel like I just don't want to know.
So
Oh
yeah,
man.
no, yeah. Apparently, I'm like I said, I'm looking at some posts. Allegedly, Christian lied in a 4chan post saying it was a way to get lesbians to date you. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know of any of that shit. So, yeah. What else?
That's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I think that's it. Nothing else really
Yeah.
happened.
Hey,
I
so
think
how
next
you?
week is the
Yeah.
week that we're all looking forward to.
Yes, it is.
Starfield.
Woo!
Starfield. Yeah. So I'm very
Yes.
much looking forward to that.
I'm waiting. Oh yeah, the preload doesn't go until the 30th on Steam, right?
Yeah. So before we answer these member channel top oh my goodness, Fitch. These topics from my channel members. Let me just ask you guys updated Starfield thoughts on what the Metacritic will be. So let's start with Singer.
94. Let's go.
All right, Pong.
I've been locked in at 93 for a long time.
Okay, Slow.
I'm still saying 91.
Aaron.
I mean, it's Todd Howard, isn't it? So, I mean, I don't know. I've not seen that much. So whatever, 90, 80, 80, 81, 85. I don't know. I wouldn't even know. It's a
All
bad
right.
guess. 52, just like Todd Howard. It could be anything. Yeah.
All right, so Phil says 94, and Dandy says 86, Vax says 92, Eastside says 93, and Mon says 90. Brian says, I'm reserving judgment for launch, but nothing I saw impressed me. Well, Brian, do you play Bethesda games? That's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's completely impossible for new players to get into a title at later entries or newer entries. Because, like, man, I fucking love The Witcher 3. Now, don't get me wrong, I did try and play The Witcher 2 on Xbox. And I think you guys who've played The Witcher 2 on Xbox have an idea of how that might have gone given the controls on the system. But
Luca,
yes.
Hey, I actually enjoyed that
I
one.
I suggest giving 2 a try, but mod the hell out of it on PC.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it on PC. But
Yeah.
yep. All right. And
Hey.
Mon said, "Oh, you love it, Aaron?"
I really dig Witcher 2 on 360. I
Yeah.
really did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I played it too late. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it on PC if anything. Amon
Okay,
gives
yeah,
it a
yeah.
90. Knights Wolf gives it a 95. Lucius 95. Phil says behind the scenes impressions have been more positive in Fallout 4. Okay. Lil Sad Boy Blue says 90s. Um. Oh, okay. We got some Witcher 2 fans on PC. Witcher 1's unplayable. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Combat's unplayable. Yeah, you can definitely. It's been The Witcher 3 combat is definitely an improvement despite some people.
I will say The Witcher 1, you can play it. There is a particular combat mod. It's a overhaul. You need that. Without that, it's unplayable. That makes it bearable. At least you can finish the game. I'm not saying it's great or anything. I'm just saying, you can actually get something done. So
I think
Actually-
like with The Witcher 2, I think the story, since it was so much more streamlined and more remembered in the means of maybe a Mass Effect kind of streamlined campaign compared to The Witcher 3, I think that's why I also really liked The Witcher 2 and the way that story progressed and the way that ending, of course. It feels weird if somebody want to play it. I don't want to talk about the ending, but I do think that it is a really good game in that regard, in my opinion.
Nice. Okay. Witcher 2 feels more like Dragon Age 2 streamline. Okay. All right. Well, I did, like I said, I played some of it. I got to the point where I'm out of the dungeon.
Mhm.
All right. So shout out to Sir X-Man saying, is the Earth in trouble with this crazy weather and superheat we're having? Oh yeah, we're definitely getting cooked alive. The Earth's been fucked. So
I mean, if your country doesn't sink into the ocean, it'll get burned alive.
yeah,
Pick,
we're
pick
fucked,
which
man.
one you want. Well, you're fucked. I live on an island, surrounded by nothing but water. The fire ain't gonna get me, but the fucking water will.
I mean, you're fucked
Eventually.
regardless, my boy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
All right. Okay, and then shout
Don't you
out
guys
to,
want to hear about any of the games that I've been playing on Gamescom that is not out yet?
No,
No,
hold on.
I thought we
Hold
had
on.
some indie lovers here, man. Come on.
Give me 1 second. Shout out.
I love. We can talk off stream there.
Well,
Appreciate
actually, wait. So you're on about at Gamescom?
Okay, can I get my channel member?
My bad.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, my bad.
You're good. Shout out to Web Dave saying, just how big is Starfield? It's pretty big, my boy. Pause. PS Pony's super mad that Baldur's Gate 3 is now coming to Xbox this year. Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Trying to use Baldur's Gate 3 as like a gotcha. Whoever started that, respectfully, I might be cool with this person. So no, it's a pretty dumb comment to make. So if it's someone I know and we're cool, I didn't know that you said it, man. My bad. But it's a dumb comment, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So anyone who is pushing that narrative that it's like a fucking PlayStation exclusive, it's not. And it never was. So all right. Yeah. Okay, no.
The thi-
2 minutes, Aaron, and then we're out of here.
The problem with that is, Eastside, it doesn't get hot enough for the fire to get us over here. It's rain for 90% of the year, so we don't have to worry about fires.
All right. I'm putting a timer on. Phone Star, actually pretty fun. Play Lisfanga next year when it comes out. Let me see here. Mortal Kombat 1. Man, that campaign just feels like it's coming along in the same vein as the last three. I really enjoy the humor in those games, and what I play from the campaign and the new invasion mode also feels like it's just continuation of what they did to make these, or the other three games successful. So yeah, I really look forward to that as well, and look forward to Ultros, that psychedelic Metroidvania. And of course, look forward to the Plucky Squire. Man, that game looks to be absolutely amazing. So all these games that I mentioned, I did longer interviews with and just play sessions with behind closed doors. And so a lot of it is also under embargo. Not the ones that I mentioned, of course, but some of it is under embargo to be expected to read more about next week and the weeks going forward. I would expect as well. But no, there's a lot of cool stuff that is coming up in later down the fall as well as early next year, in my opinion. And some of them I've really just like pushed forward on my list as well. So that's pretty much it.
Bet. Thank you.
Real quick, did you see the first Descendant there?
Oh,
Yeah,
first.
but I did not, no, I did not go behind those. And tomorrow morning. So here's the thing: Black Myth
Mhm.
Wukong.
Mm.
We're talking about a 5 to 6 hour line to their booth.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
no
it's
surprise.
only a demo. It is only a demo, and they don't have any presence on the business to business area. So like no meeting at all. But tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, I will grab an Uber and get there early because I spoke to one of the developers that is still here that suggested me coming early in the morning. So I will see if I get my hands on that.
Oh, shit.
But yeah. I mean, there are too many games. Like the Gamescom opening, I think this is a thing that I forgot to mention earlier, that it's just good to know what you see in the opening night live showcase. It's not even a fraction of the tip of the iceberg of the games that are being looked at and played at
Mm.
during that showcase.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for sharing your experience there. Sounds like it was a really insightful one. Slomo, you're
Yo.
playing Immortals of Avian, right?
Yeah, I'm playing it.
Quick thoughts?
It's a good game. It's fun. Combat's awesome. I think the movements are really good, and the way the whole like magic system. I feel like they ripped off from Brent Weeks's Lightbringer, which is fine because Lightbringer is awesome if you read fantasy
Are you playing
novels.
PC, Slomo?
Yes, I'm playing on PC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since you mentioned that,
Yeah.
performance wise, this
I
is
was gonna
a
say.
example of why you should not be using the full suite of Unreal Engine 5 at this time in 2023. There's just like, unless you're even with a 4090 with like the paired with the best GPU, you're not really like averaging over 100 frames per second. I'm averaging with my rig. Initially when I was at the play session on the play testing a few weeks ago. It performed better there than it did at full release. So I lost probably about 10 frames on average once I got into like playing the full game. Well, I played the full game there, but just like the full release version. I'm playing at 1440p with DLSS quality, and I'm getting like at max settings 65 to 75 frames per second. I optimized it myself, kind of like played with the settings to find the right like fit for me, and I got that 10 frames back. But it's performance is a bit of a mixed bag. If you're playing on consoles, good luck. Good luck.
Did you see the Digital Foundry breakdown?
Yeah, I did see that. I
720p upscaled for Series X and PS5.
First of all, you should never use an
480.
upscaler when your base resolution is that low. It's
Yeah.
going to always end up ugly. It's always going to have
Unreal Engine 5.
artifacting all over the place when you start from a very low resolution.
They showed that.
But to go up to 4K, like why? Like
Right.
you started at 720p to upscale to 4K. That's a bad decision. So
UE5 is stressing.
The thing is, it's not. It's like UE5 only recently came out. What, like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, but
And
it's now just starting to come out in games this year.
yeah, but someone had the bright idea of using the whole suite
Yep.
of everything you could use in this.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
nanite and the lumen, all that good stuff.
Please use all that technology in about 6 years. You know when please max out Unreal Engine. Give it 6 to 8 years, because like Unreal Engine 4 started off janky, and then given time, people learn to manage it and master it. But like Unreal Engine, I appreciate what they're trying to do, but man, I feel bad for the consoles. They must be screaming inside.
Yeah,
I mean, I think maybe they're getting used to it, man. I don't know.
I did see in that Digital Foundry video that the Series S has the most stable frame rate, but the starting resolution is less than standard depth. It's just like the sacrifices you had to make in order to get that it might be too high, you know. And then they also mentioned how like a lot of graphical like features are missing on the Series S compared to the Series X.
Yeah, environmental stuff was pretty drastic.
Yeah, some of the enemies don't produce shadows when they move, so it looks a little weird. I know none of that.
Get a PC, guys.
Get a PC, right? None of that is an issue on PC. I was just like, damn, really? Like, I'm looking at the video like, good grief. Now,
get a PC.
I did see some weird stuff because like I kept my game save from the playtest, so I didn't have to go over again from the very beginning. But like in the beginning, it does a lot of setup and exposition and story, which I think the story is pretty decent. It's kind of like a young adult themed game, but it's got very good voice acting. It's a decent story, but like some of the mocap facial features and like the way the animation was working with the mouth and the eyes and the face seemed initially like, ugh, you know, but it looks like from what I've seen of clips, they fixed that from the playtest, which is good. But EA spent a lot of money on this game. They got big name actors like Gina Torres in it. She's mocapped in the game. They got, you know, the main character is an actor that's I've seen on Netflix like 5 times. So they spent a lot of money. The motion capture, they definitely went all out on the budget. It's just it's a good game, but it's probably gonna be super short. I've only got like 3-4 hours into it. From what everyone else has said, it's a pretty short game, but hopefully this doesn't like its performance and reviews doesn't deter EA from continuing to support single player games. Cause
you know my worry is though, Slummer?
What's that?
More and more people are gonna start flexing with Unreal Engine 5, and everyone's like, we don't want to return back to 30 FPS gaming. You might if these devs don't stop playing around to get a decent resolution, you might be stuck with 30.
Yeah,
because if you get 720p, like that's games are gonna look horrible, and we got more of this gen to go. So the devs need to calm down, slow the brakes.
Yeah, and also for those who's listening, so we're clear, we're talking about the base resolution. What your eyes are actually seeing isn't the 436p on the Series S and the 720p on the X and PS5. It's upscaled to 4K, but that's the starting resolution. But what we're talking about is that when you upscale from such a low resolution, the end result isn't as pristine. It's clean. It's not as clean as you think it would look when you play a game. And let's say, name any other game that's come out where they've done dynamic upscaling of the resolution, but they start at like 1440p and they get the 4K. Like that looks a lot cleaner and a lot better than the way this game looks. And then it also has issues where it's like certain like visual effects in the game are running at like a different resolution, not a different frame rate than everything else. So it's jarring. So
yeah, it's more motion stuff, right, Slow-mo? So if you're standing still or if you take a screenshot, it looks really good.
Right.
It's when you're in motion that you know it.
Yeah. You start moving and it's like, oh, wait a minute. That's how it looked a second ago. But like fun game though. Like combat wise, I really enjoy the combat. It's a lot of fun. So, but it may be, I would say, let them optimize it. And this might be, if you're on consoles and you got like Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play or something like that, like just wait for it to go to EA Play. Because that'll be like
Yeah.
6 months down the road. They've optimized the game. It's in a lot better state. And then you can play it and just enjoy it and not be weirded out by the blurriness.
Nice. Okay. So let me go ahead and get my channel members, and we can hop on out of here. So shout out to Hannibal Slow, Envy, Brandon, Jet, Nautical, Pepitio, Arcade, Bari, Lightstrife, Corey, Breesky, Donnell, Zion, Sycamore, Sir Duck, Dom, Jazzy, Yobi, Subnegro, El Huito, Plus on the Block Podcast, Smitty, Big Daddy, DC, Kenny, Starbuck, Dex Flex, Stone, Risk It, Stardust, Lord Jorenza, Smokes, John John the Don, DQ's Blizzards, Phil, Scroat, Meat Puppet, King Metrotron, Dirk, H Dog, Tevin, Damien, Drav, Stankmaw, Iman, Mike, Outlaw and Bandy, Red Rain, Lionel, NJ, Web Dave, Jarrell, Mr. Dolo Gaming, and Sir X-Man. Thank you guys so much for being members of the channel and supporting me in this way. I really do appreciate it. If you want to send topics for the show, go ahead and become a member. And then what am I looking at right now? Okay, so what am I looking at right now? Let's do these outros. Go ahead, Singer.
Fantastic show, fantastic panel. It was nice having Pong on and Aaron. And you can find me romancing Karlach in Baldur's Gate 3.
All right, let's go. Pong, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I really do appreciate it.
It's been too long. Thanks again, Queen, for the invite. I always got to come through. I love it here. Great panel tonight. Awesome to be here with all you guys. It's going to be a fun week next week. The discourse is going to be crazy, man. If some of these leaks are true, boy, there's going to be some conversations, but it's going to be fun no matter what. So get ready, everybody. Pongsoul on Xbox, Pongsoul on the X, formerly known as Twitter. You guys know that. Normally, I'd have the shop right now after the show. No shop tonight. Anybody that heads over to PTK Blam's channel, he had a prior engagement, so no shop, but otherwise it's the golden age of gaming, people. I'll keep it short. Play what you love what you play. We'll talk to you real soon.
All right, Slow-Mo.
Yo, awesome show, awesome panel, awesome chat. Enjoy your games. Peace.
All right, thank you so much for coming through as a guest, Aaron. I really do appreciate it, and you sharing your insight on Gamescom along with that edit that you sent me. Thank you.
No, I'm so sorry for being late and oversleeping. I really tried my hardest.
No worries.
But listen, I came in just a minute before you. I tried to sleep before because the show starts at 1 a.m. here where I'm at. So I wanted to get some sleep before that. And of course, I overslept. My bad for that. I really looked forward to
no
that.
worries, man.
You know, Luca out here being one of the coolest. And I remember when you first invited me and as on the show, and I've been really looking forward to that opportunity of just being able to do that. So really appreciate you for having me on. And yeah, I'm not doing much, mostly in Swedish, so I'm not going to plug anything there unless you have Swedish listeners. You know, you can find me at Spoiler Spaces on Twitter because that's what it's going to be called for centuries to come, I believe. Other than that, read the magazines in Sweden, or love the games you play, just like Pong mentioned. And yeah, shout out to you guys, good people.
Did you shout out Living Split Screen, Pong?
No, I did not shout out. I kept it short for your show, so because everybody here does short outros. So yeah, Living Split Screen every Saturday morning. Steele and I had just almost a 5-hour show this morning. We always do that, 3+ hours. But man, we've been going over 4.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know how y'all do that because I try to be out of here.
I know you do. we do the opposite of what everybody says you're supposed to do. Steele and I just love to talk. Listen, that's just who we are. So we get together Saturday mornings. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
Did a 15-20 minute show, and you knew it was going to be that short because you started the show with like, I don't feel like doing this right now. Like, okay, I can see where this is going.
So yeah, living split screen every Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Plus, you're probably going to see me and Steel start streaming more. I'm planning on streaming Starfield, so it's going to be a fun time. So we're going to start expanding, but we finally hit mission 1K, so the mission continues. We're
Listen,
on our way. So I appreciate
you guys are going to be big. I just know it.
Thank you.
Just
Luke.
don't forget about me. As all
Oh, jeez.
only a
Please.
couple of content creators who've made it have remembered my name. You know what I'm saying?
Luca, nobody can forget you. Come on, you're lying.
It just hurts so much.
No, don't cry. We'll remember you, Luca. Don't worry.
Yes,
Promise.
but nothing but up, my boy.
Thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to say, anime fans, Baki is out. Second half of Baki is out, so we're gonna say. So it's Yujiro versus Baki. We already know where it's going. I'm loving where the season is so far. I'm actually enjoying it more than the Pickle arc. There's some aspects of the Pickle arc I don't really like, so I watched it, but I was like, But I'm really enjoying this a lot more. I'm loving seeing my boy Retsukayo, pop his collar a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to Baki and Yujiro going at it. And then also, of course, if you're not watching, what is it called? 1,000-Year Blood War for Bleach, then I don't know. Bleach, one of the fucking original big three. Bleach was a part of that, and it's more than just a return to form. This shit is fucking fire. So if you're not watching that, I don't know what you're missing out on greatness. So anyway, that's it for me. I will catch you guys next week. We're Starfield. We'll have our Starfield Metacritic right next week.
Oh, we'll have impressions.
Babies, we'll have impressions too.
Because I'll be playing on the first. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Blue Moon. Appreciate you. Oh, what's up, Yobi? Always good to see you, my boy. But yeah. You guys, please be safe, be well. I hope your families are doing good, and I hope that we were able to provide some entertainment for y'all. Nothing but love, and thank you for coming through. Peace. Bye. Oh, Brian, Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya arc next week, baby. Second season of Jujutsu Kaisen's fucking fire. Okay, so watch that as well. Okay, all right. Thank you.
I wish I could be as